Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. A month ago, starting June 1st, I went to a racetrack called RaceWay Park down in New Jersey, and I competed in the league for the first time there. I was invited down by one of my friends that I met at a recent racetrack that I raced earlier in the year. So I went down, met him there, eventually raced against him, and took some notes about how to run the track. Between A, B, and C main, I qualified and practiced with C main, but then I ended up starting second in B main. This race was a 15-minute sprint race, and the main feature was about 25 minutes. That's lap 1 complete, and in the last lap you can see me try and overtake the leader in the first 2 turns, but I couldn't quite make the pass completely. After that, since I was new and still learning the track, I decided it would be more helpful to stay behind him and learn his line as I raced alongside. Which of course, this was the approach that I took. In taking this approach, I'm able to see the faster, more knowledgeable drivers and how they're racing the track. Since I'm way less experienced and already took some notes off of the track, it was time I start taking notes on the track. By watching a more faster driver, I can see where my line is faster than his, and where his line is faster than mine. I take their faster line in the racetrack and import it into my line, which then makes it more faster. While I'm racing, I'm also experimenting with my own line to see what's faster, what catches up to the leader, and what draws me back. As in this race, you can see me drop back from the leader and catch right back up to him many times during this race. Something I also learned was that I should stay off the curbs. This was a huge difference from my league down in New Jersey Motorsports Park, where the curbs were your friends. Here, if I hit them, it would bounce the cart, including myself, and it would really slow me down. You have seen and you'll continue to see me struggling with doing so, as I'm trying to tighten up my line and make it quicker. Turn 1 and 2, while I definitely still have some room to improve, was my most confident part of the track. I was able to have a more fine line than most other drivers and be able to get back on the gas, pushing my cart right out to the outside line and down the straight. I was focusing on learning and pushing myself further than I have gone already. One major thing that I learned at this track was how much turning could be done while back on the throttle. Before this, if I had to turn, I was always letting off on the gas, of course, if necessary in the turn, and only getting back on the gas when it was time to go straight. These carts made it super easy to turn when you got back on the throttle, which means better exit speed down the next straight and further on down the track. Now that we're further into the race, you can see I'm able to have a cleaner line and a more smooth line. I'm able to stay right behind the leader and even catch up to him. This is building my confidence, and now I'm ready to try and overtake. But now it's finding a spot on the track to do so. I managed to have a great exit coming out of the first turn, and now down the straight I'm catching right up to him. I was gonna try and see if I could make a move, but I was a little bit too far back, and entering this next turn my kart kind of jumped out from under me. This battle for the lead was against 3 different drivers. The driver behind me was the one who invited me out to the track and who I have previously met before. I could tell he was all over my bumper and a little bit faster than me, but I was really trying to hold on to second so I can maybe pass the leader. I could tell I was a tiny bit faster than the leader, but it was just a matter of being able to catch up with him, stay with him, and then be faster in some corner to pass him. You can see throughout the race, I have the speed and the momentum to catch back up to him after falling back many times. The hard part is getting my kart ahead of his, while also defending and making sure the kart behind me stays behind me. Down this straight, I had a little bit of a better exit coming out of the last corner, and I was able to pull my kart right alongside his. This set me up perfectly since I was super confident in this first turn. Although coming out of the exit, I did hit the curb a tiny bit, which pushed me back behind him. Definitely thought about dive bombing and sticking my nose down on the inside of his, but I figured we still had some time left in the race, and I didn't want to crash us both out. I was off my line from trying to pass, and third place stuck his nose on the inside of mine. Now, as the leader pulled away a tiny bit, I was focused on staying in second. Coming out of that last turn and down the straightaway, I managed to have a lot more momentum and keep up with him and even catch up to him a tiny bit. My confidence is at a high because I think I can pass him, and I'm ready to try again. I nail that corner and I'm right on his bumper now. I continue straight for more speed, and now I'm looking to his inside to get around, and I'm able to do it. My first ever time at this track, and I'm leading a race. My confidence is at an all-time high. Now the only issue is I have no idea how much longer is left in the race, and I have to maintain this position. You can see my line start to deteriorate a tiny bit since I don't have a guide in front of me to base my line off of. I was worried about this a tiny bit when I was taking the lead, thinking about how slow am I gonna be compared to what I was. But now it was all about defending and trying to continue to push myself and increase my pace. My friend who is in third place while I was in second managed to follow right through with me into second position. I wasn't able to get rid of him when I passed for the lead, which is what I was kind of hoping for, that they two would battle. But nope, he followed right through with me and was still continuing to put pressure. I'm feeling all of the pressure since I figure that he is a faster driver than me. I'm way less experienced and I have no idea how much time is left in this race. At this point, I'm just waiting for the checkered flag to fly. And around he goes with ease in a part of the track where I'm struggling with. As I watch him drive by with total ease, I'm really trying to keep my spirits up and think how I'm gonna get back around him. I remember thinking to myself that I'm a fast driver and that there was no way that I was going to give up this easily. I was going to decide to put up a fight till the very end. I was able to get to his inside, but wasn't able to stick it out long enough to get to the inside of the next turn to pass. This drove my confidence through the roof, and I thought to myself that I was able to pass and win this whole race. All of a sudden, the thoughts about how much time was going to be left in this race disappeared from my head, and I was treating every single lap like it was the last. I managed to catch right back up to his bumper through my confident parts of the track, learn from my mistakes, and go for the lunge. I was able to clear him coming out of those turns and onto the straight. I hadn't known it, but this was the last lap of the race, and now it all just comes down to me continuing to lead and defend. As we come through the final turns, unbeknownst to me, my excitement jumps through the roof when I see that checkered flag fly and I'm in first position. My first time at this track, and I've won the sprint race in B main. Now, because I've won this sprint race in B main, I'm going to be moving up into the A main for the feature race. However, I am going to be starting dead last.
Thank you.
Consider subscribing and staying tuned for the next race to see if I can jump from last position to first at my first ever time being at this track. That wraps up today's video though. I'll see you all in the next one.